Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. What does that mean? Can I be perfect? Certainly we can. Or Jesus Christ would not have commanded this, and he certainly did in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect. Hi, my name is Brother Shefflin Ballantyne of the Thusia Seventh-day Adventist Church, and today I want to speak to you about biblical perfection. Many people struggle with this concept. Many theologians malign the possibility of being perfect. You may have considered being perfect and even tried it out and failed. Why is this so? What do you need to know about perfection? The Bible outlines to us three types of perfection: divinity perfection, bodily perfection, and sin-free perfection. So what exactly is divinity perfection? Divinity perfection is defined by Brother Aaron Medina in his book Studies on Justification, Righteousness, and Salvation as perfection as God himself. Divinity literally means the nature of God, according to the Noah Webster's dictionary. Quote, Christians ascribe divinity to one supreme being only, says Webster. Clearly, divinity is God himself, and the perfection that defines divinity is impossible for us to attain. So Christ was not speaking about divinity perfection. After all, he cannot command us to be God. In speaking of perfection, the perfection of God, the Bible tells us he is the rock. His work is perfect. Further, David declares, as for God, his way is perfect. His perfection makes him a buckler to all those who trust in him. We cannot be the rock. We cannot create. We cannot be the buckler. We cannot be God. We therefore cannot have divinity perfection. Now this brings us to the second type of perfection mentioned in the Bible, bodily perfection. So what is that? It is possessing a body that has no weaknesses, no infirmities, a body that cannot die. Now you will conclude that there's no one existing on earth currently with such a body, and that we cannot therefore be commanded to have such a body at this point in time, and you will be correct. Brother Aaron Medina, in his book Studies on Justification, Righteousness, and Salvation, defines bodily perfection as a glorified body. It is a heavenly body. And God did not command us to possess that at this point in time, but he promises that we will receive it at the second coming of Jesus Christ. Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 from verse 51 tells us this: Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So bodily perfection is projected for the future at the second coming of Jesus Christ, and is therefore not commanded by Jesus Christ for us to possess at this point in time. So what perfection can we have at this point in time? This brings us to the third type of perfection mentioned in the scriptures, sin-free perfection. So what is this? This is the absence of sin in you. The scripture tells us in Titus chapter 2, from verse 11 to 14, For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us what? To live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. And verse 14 says that Jesus Christ gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity. John tells us in 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1, My little children, these things write I unto you, that you sin not. In describing the horrible fall of Lucifer from the state of perfection, Ezekiel tells us in Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 15, Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. Clearly, perfection is defined as the absence of iniquity in you. And this is the perfection Jesus Christ commands us to have at this point in time. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Our Father in heaven is God. We know that we cannot be God. He promises us perfect body, perfect heavenly body at the second coming of Jesus Christ. He did not command us to have that at this point in time. But we know our Father which is in heaven is without iniquity. So when Jesus Christ commands, be ye therefore perfect, he is commanding us to have no iniquity in our hearts through justification by faith. We invite you to accept the character of Christ into your heart to save you from sin. We invite you to understand that time is late. Jesus Christ is coming back soon. And the only guarantee that you have for a body that is perfect at the coming of Jesus Christ is sin-free perfection now. Now you can join us on Telegram at Thusia SDA Global Sentinel. And please subscribe, like, and share this video. Until next time, may God bless you.